And we are here, present, and accounted for. Consistency is key. Adventures of the Black Nerds.
What's going on?
Man, I am Baron J67, and I'm good.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh, I am T. Jones. T. Jones with the bow.
Hey, look. Present, unaccounted for. So, as my brethren was just saying, we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. A lot.
Yeah, so, do you want to start off with...
I say we start off with Anthem.
Yeah, Dumpster Fire. Let's do it.
Because they royally, in my opinion at least, some people stand by what they did, but it's a lot to the story of Anthem, or even the game of Anthem, when you think about it. Now, I was telling you earlier.
Well, let's start. We got to keep it straight with everybody. I haven't bought Anthem.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
wait.
haven't bought it. I'm not, because I don't think I'm going to buy it right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm seriously sitting on it because, for one, and we'll talk about it a little more in depth later, it's already discounted, so I can only imagine it dropping further. That's one reason. And then also, these games as a service types, Destiny, Division, Anthem, anything in these realms, the whole loot, shoot and loot, open world shoot and loot, open online only. I like to wait because they have this bad habit of releasing when they really shouldn't. Mm-hmm. They need to, like, if this game would have came out next year, if they would have pushed it back a whole year, they would have probably had a better reception.
They've been pushing it back for 3-4 years now.
Once again, I agree. But that just leads to the whole overall story of stop telling us about stuff you're not ready for.
I at this point, I'm thinking it's on purpose.
It is on purpose. Because, why not? Dude, everybody's a paid early access.
Well, of course. But with this specific game, with Anthem at least, I feel like it should have been way more. And then you look at these games, you look at Division. I feel like with Destiny being like the head of them all, because all of these games are always compared to Destiny, never compared to each other. So it's kind of like you're looking at Destiny, you've seen where they messed up at, and you try to adjust accordingly. But I think with all three of these games, we're talking about Division, we're talking about Anthem, we're talking about Destiny, all have some big head, what would you call them?
Backing publishers.
Publishers. Some super big back publishers behind them, and it just seems like that is the common thing that they have that's sending them down the wrong path. Now with
and before you jump off of that, let's really acknowledge that point. How is it that I can get a more complete or a more playable functioning game from an indie developer than I'm getting from my big AAA publishers?
And I think I got the answer for that from my perspective and from what we have seen, because this is not even, I'm not making this stuff up. I've played Destiny for 5 years. I've played Division. You know, we've seen how all of this, especially as a gaming community, we've seen how it all turned out. With these big these big backings, these big publishers, they're not looking to say, okay, the lifespan of this game is 10 years. No, they need a massive release every year. This is what they're looking for. They're looking for some type of massive push, just like your Call of Duties, just like your NBA 2Ks, just like your Maddens. All of these games is one a year. Why? They rack in the money then, and then we'll figure it out down the line. Come out with a deluxe edition 4, 5, 6 months down the line. It goes on sale, or Christmas time it goes on sale, then comes off sale, then right around spring it goes on sale again, and it stays there, and then June is when you will get the announcement for the new one.
Yeah.
With these games, that's what they're trying to push. I think looking at Destiny and comparing them to the rest of them, the difference now is Destiny have no excuses. they don't have a big publisher backing them anymore. Activision is gone. It is you. And they have addressed that. But looking at Anthem, looking at the division, and looking at the division, it looks like it's going to be in a better spot. It looks like it's set up to give everything that they've been talking about up front right out the gate. So with Anthem, they literally gave you a roadmap, a 3-month, a 90-day roadmap. A 90-day roadmap. You know how ridiculous that sounds?
For a game that
you could have waited the 3 months and just gave me all of that stuff then. 3 months from now, I would
just gave me a big update.
Exactly. So now you're giving me stuff off of a weekly basis. They're trying to create this live action game where it's updated on a weekly basis. Destiny just got it right. I don't think Anthem is going to get that right. As of right now, at least. They have a long way to go because, as we're about to get into, they have so many problems with their game. The game is on sale right now. It's not doing the numbers that it should have been doing, the way they marketed it.
Not as much they market. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you did the most. You flew out all of these influencers, and they're telling the truth about your game now, which isn't pretty and which isn't good. So, I'm not going to say that it's going to completely fail. I think they do have a chance to get it right. But as of right now, people are
still playing Fallout 76.
Exactly. So. I don't think that I am inclined to go pick up Anthem and play it because why sell myself short when I can just get it in 3 months and have everything all at once? And by that time, Division will be out. By that time, Mortal Kombat will be out. There's so many games coming out. They literally came out at the worst time.
Yeah, they did. They if they knew they were going to struggle to this level, which is scary because I can only imagine where it was 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But if you knew you were going to have this type of release, I would have rather you release before the holiday season, get the holiday sales, blame it on the overloaded servers, even though you are EA, one of the biggest game companies out there. But you would have had a lot more. Then there was less that came out around it.
Yeah.
But by you releasing right before another EA title, if I'm not mistaken, The Division. Is The Division EA?
It's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, which EA owns a little bit, right? Or did we debunk that? I don't know. Don't give me the line. Let me know in the comments. But my point is, when it comes to these types of games, these games as a service, I don't feel I'm at a point now where, one, my time is so spaced and limited. I don't have the hours to throw at games like I used to. So my choices have to be a little more, I got to be a little more picky. Then looking at the fact that if I had to pick between Destiny 2, where it is now, The Division 2 coming up, and Anthem, because they're all as in function, they're all the same type of game.
Yes, they are.
I would rather play between Destiny only because it's already solidified and it's already went through its paces, or The Division because The Division feels like they are building off of the positives of Division 1. My beef with because I'm jumping around, my initial beef with Destiny 2 was they took a big dump on themselves in terms of starting over. That bothered me. Why not just immediately take off from all the positive of 1 and continue pushing that into 2?
Well, I felt that is okay. So we can definitely definitely have a conversation about that.
We've talked about that a million times.
I just think with that, and even with Anthem, I'm getting ready. This point I'm getting ready to say goes for all three, except for The Division, because The Division, they royally messed up, and I'm not sure how big the community is. I would assume that it's not as big as the Destiny community, but
facts.
Yeah, with Anthem, they decided to bring out these people and talk to these influencers and, get their title in and do these interviews and make it seem like, oh yeah, this is the new thing. But the one thing they didn't seem to do was, so pretty much you guys flew out a gang of Destiny YouTubers, gang of Destiny content creators. And if anyone should know how, like a game, if anyone should know the struggles of a game on release day and content throughout, should be Destiny players, Destiny content creators, Destiny fans. You should know that. I feel like they either didn't get the information that they should have gotten, or they completely either ignored it. I don't know. I'm not speaking factual. I'm just speaking based off of what I've seen, and they didn't take it into consideration. I'm just saying, the one big point that gets to me is you debuted me jumping into a water, flying through the water in my Anthem suit, and then tell me, oh yeah, you can't fight underwater. That makes no damn sense to me.
They sold it as it was going to be a big part of the universe.
Exactly. So
they really did. Yeah.
I just don't think. And then I think with just looking at Anthem now, like not even thinking about Destiny, not even thinking about the Division, they're in a bad spot. They're not in a spot where they can't recover, but they're in a horrible spot because now the community sees something, and what we're about to get into is them banning people for playing their game. Now, granted, if your moral compass is I don't cheat, I don't use hacks, I don't do anything like that, I totally get it, totally understand.
Let's not say hacks, let's say exploits.
Okay,
because nobody hacked. From what I understand, nobody's hacked.
Yeah, no, it's not a hack. You're right. It is an exploit. So
there's a big difference.
But I'm speaking from a general standpoint.
Okay.
If you like using mods, if you like using whatever, if you don't like this stuff, then I totally understand why you would argue against the point I'm about to bring up. But with a game like Anthem has no PvP parts into it. So just like in most of Destiny, it's not how you play, it's how much time you play. And this goes for Diablo, your League of Legends, all of those games that have that type of content in it. It's not based off of how you play most of the time. It's based on how much you play. Because you could be the wackest player on earth, but if you have 100 more hours than the best PvP player on Destiny, you're going to have better gear. You're going to have better equipment, better weapons, because that's how you get stuff in the game, by playing it. With Anthem has no PvP aspects to it. It only has PvE. So
player versus everything. Yeah.
So with the situation we're talking about, a streamer got banned playing Anthem. And he was doing a exploit farming gear. I guess it was not intended, but somebody found it. He did it. He got punished for it because not only he streamed it and made a Twitter video on it. Long story short, he gets banned. He gets perma-banned. Not banned for a week, not banned for a day. He gets permanently banned. Like, you need a whole new everything to play this game.
Just to play the game.
So... he makes a recap on it. He talks about it. Then he comes back around again, and he makes a follow-up video to it. And he talks about how he finally got in contact with somebody. They finally let him know what happened, and he was banned for doing a exploit in the game, farming high tier gear. In the email that they mentioned to him, it talked about how that cheating in the community is unfair, blah blah blah, because it ruins like the integrity of the game. For one, your game isn't a PvP game.
True.
It's a PvE game. Why does it matter? If this person, especially if a high YouTube player like that, or Twitch player at least, is playing your game, bringing the light to the game like the way it is, or a game that is dying as it got released. It literally died as it was released. Why does it matter? That could have been done a whole different way. You, instead of banning them, you could have hit them up. Hey, how'd you figure it out? Okay, cool. We're going to work on a bomb.
I think that is the bigger point, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But that is the point. If they would have took that route, that's how you build.
Yeah, of course.
That's how you make better.
And now you have a big influencer that's saying, I don't know if I'm going to play your game. I don't know if I want to play your game now, especially if we're going to be, in his exact words, if we're going to be policed the way that I don't feel like we should in a video game, I don't want to play. I'm probably not going to put the time that I thought I was going to put into your game. I totally understand it. Now, I also understand the point of exploiting people not having what you have to exploit, i.e. time, i.e. equipment, i.e. knowledge of the game. Totally understand that. But in a game like this, where all you got to do is play it, and it's not like there's no leaderboards on kills to KD and all of this type of stuff, I don't think it mattered that much for the dude to get banned. A conversation, yeah. Probably, yeah, you know, this is where it comes down to. So even comparing this specific situation to Destiny, when a glitch is found in Destiny, they don't ban you for it. They update their game. They fix it. We come out with a patch.
Thank you.
Like, I remember when the Warmind DLC came out and Prometheus Lens ran rampant through the game. Literally, Trials of Osiris was nothing but Prometheus Lens, people using that trace rifle, and it was annoying. So what did Bungie do? All right, cool. We're going to give everybody the gun. They literally gave everybody the gun. All you needed was like 23 legendary shards, which everybody should have had at that point. And you bought the gun and you had it. So just like that person is using it, you can use it. Until they were able to find a patch to fix the gun, they gave it to everybody. So in that, they didn't ban anybody. And that's kind of a different situation, because that's not farming for loot. That's literally somebody using the gun that you gave me. But when you look at it, this is the game you gave me. You gave me this game, or I bought this game. And the mistake you put in the game, I didn't put in the game. I'm doing it. The game is all about acquiring gear.
So if I found a way to get it easier, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So like I said, I do understand the people who think that it's wrong, that integrity is a big part of communities. Totally understand it. But I also understand the side where people can say, listen, man, in this specific game, I don't beat anybody. The only thing is I get randomly dropped gear from activities by playing the activities.
Now, you actually bring up a major point that we've never discussed. Having an online-only game without any leaderboards, is it almost pointless?
No, in this era, because it's not about to be honest, right now, it's not about leaderboards. It's about what you got. It's about the guns you got. I think people
the cosmetics and the gear. Okay, that makes sense.
Like when you look at Fortnite, or you look at like PUBG, those games are meant for that. Why? Because they're so fast paced. Literally, you die, start up another one, and you go about your thing. You want to go, okay, let's see how far I can last. Let's see my average placing when I get into a match. Stuff like that. How many games I've won. In these games, that's not the point. The point in these games is to craft or acquire gear and weapons and beat big bosses. Normally most bosses in some of these games are bullet sponges. So it's about, okay, how fast can we kill this boss to get to the gear or get to the loot drop? It's not about like stats and stuff. So, but some of these games that put them in there, like for example, Division is going to have that. Division is going to have some type of stat. Yeah. Destiny do have stats at the end of the matches, but it's not like no in-game leaderboard that you have to go to a API outside of the game to see your stats, like how many kills you got in this raid, or how many raids have you done. There's different websites, which is a great thing because it's a commodity outside of the game that people are profiting off of.
And it keeps the world going.
Exactly.
It keeps the world turning.
So this company decides, hey, I'm going to make maybe you're tired of playing with the weakest people who don't know anything. So we're going to create a website where you can check their raid stats. If they don't have 4 completions, if they've never completed it, I'm not playing with you. So you
Hey,
see what I'm saying?
that stuff is so real. I do not miss those
Bro,
days.
I did
Oh
not. I
God.
didn't understand how important it was until I got into that situation. Me and my brother-in-law were playing, and we created the party. We were finding the people. In the list, it says, "Know what to do." Dude jumped in. We make it all the way to the boss. I don't know why we didn't check, but the dude just kept acting funny, like dying in weird spots. So I finally was like, "Yo, have you beaten this?" He was like, "Yeah." So I was like, I'm like, hold on, man. I go to the website, I type his name in, and he has 0 completions. And man, I must have screenshotted and sent it over to my brother-in-law. He was like, "Yo, man, you ain't gotta lie to us, dog."
Like, hey, no, but real talk, I just feel like I would. There's so many other games to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many other games, not even with new releases, but just stuff that's already out there.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people who play these games too are very competitive.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to carry you. I want you to see the damage that I can do to these bosses and how fast I can get through these trash mobs and stuff like that. Whereas in a game, comparing it to like a Fallout, right?
Gotcha.
Fallout, you can play the game, you can go find stuff, you can craft things like that, but there's no hero moments in Fallout. You know what I'm saying? It's you, your companion. I didn't play 76, so I'm not sure if there could. It's a PvP game, so I'm pretty sure there can be, or PvE, but playing with other players game.
Yeah.
So there are hero moments in it. But comparing it to a game like Destiny, because that's pretty much all I play, there's hero moments in that where you're the last guy alive, and you either have to kill the person or you gotta revive one of your teammates, so you guys have a better chance of doing damage. There's more of those in these type of games than any other game pretty much out there. You know, sure. you can say Madden, or you can say these sports games, because there's hero moments out there. You throw a Hail Mary and your wide receiver goes up and catches it in the end zone, and bang, hero moment right there. But but going back to the leaderboard thing, or matter of fact, let's not go off tangent. Let's stay on path. Rounding up our topics on Anthem, I think Anthem did a disservice to their game by banning that guy. I also think that they are,
and multiple people.
Yeah, and multiple other people, but he was just the more notable one.
Like, yeah.
A lot of other people got banned, but I think they can learn something from this. This is a teachable moment. Don't just go out and ban somebody for exploiting a PvE game. And then,
you know what? Let's take one more step. Even if it was PvP, even if there's leaderboards and all these other things, the game hasn't even been out 2 weeks.
Yeah, but so when you say that, if you're breaking rules where
because you signed a license agreement when you hit OK.
Yeah, so
you hit an agreement. Exactly. I got you. No, I'm with you on that. But in the spirit of what it is, let's play that card. In the spirit of gaming, you released a game that I purchased at full price. You tell me it's ready to play. The console and the PC tell me it's ready to play. It says, click this button, ready to play now. And I play it. And I find this not by going into the code, not by going through the back room and back walls of the game.
Yeah.
I'm playing the game normally. And I find a way to bump your system, which means it was already there. I didn't put it there. And you boot me. Not boot me, you ban me. You 86. Come on, man. That's why. That's my problem. But legalese, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got you.
No, and
spirit of the game, I got you.
This is more to the PV, even if it was PvP. That's what separates it from me. If the dude was hacking in Call of Duty,
now we got
that's justifiable for me, because you're taking 100%. Advantage of something that gives you a heads up on everybody else in the line.
Got you, 100%.
But with this game, it's me versus AI. I'm only shooting enemies. Like, I ain't shooting.
So I found a faster way to milk your AI to get these items, and you're mad at me
that you made. You didn't hear about it? They literally it takes people. It's hard for people to get gear. So they put like a bump in the game, but it was more like a glitch. So people were getting like gear out of the yin yang, just everything they were getting.
Oh, so
they came back and reverted it because it wasn't meant to be.
And remember, folks, I like to be as straight up as possible. I have not played Anthem outside of the beta, the closed and the open beta. Nor am I planning on buying it anytime soon, especially seeing how it launched. I'd rather play all the other backlog games I got. Hell, I just made the mistake of picking up the Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Wow. So I don't know why I did that to myself, but I got it for the low.
The low.
But no.
Go ahead.
Nah, man, it just, folks, we gotta, as consumers, we have to do better at our part. Yeah. We gotta buy smarter.
I am convinced that this is the way now,
and it scares me. This is
the way,
bro.
Like,
one of the top game on being streamed, which I think is Fortnite again. Fortnite, one of the top games out right now. Fortnite, it's still early access, people, and y'all dumping money into a game that if they really wanted to, they could say, we're not going to release.
Well, we're done.
And we can't do nothing about it because we know the game is early access. Every time you turn it on, it says that the game may change. Da 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 da. Bro, are you kidding me? No, it's not even early access. It's beta. I don't even think it's called early access.
Right. Fortnite is the top viewing game right now in Twitch.
Folks, pay attention to what's happening. Think about the market. I feel like a madman. Like, and then I got the hair to match. Like, right? We look what we're doing. This free game ain't free. They making their money. That's man.
But I can tell you this though. I think comparing that type of game to Anthem, people are gonna especially Fortnite has it's solidified.
Oh yeah.
It's solidified.
It's got a whole generation, and I'm scared for that generation.
And hey, it's gonna be there. People enjoy Fortnite more than they enjoy the games we enjoy, i.e. the games we've been talking about today.
True.
Because I want to say it's because of the money that they can put into it. Because now let me go into this topic real quick before we skate on to the next one. I watched a video today where a guy, his main goal in Apex Legends, and think about it, Apex Legends is a more complete game than Anthem.
True.
Apex Legends is a more complete game than Fortnite.
Yeah, 100%.
And Fortnite wrote the damn book on how to survive as a free to play game. and half of Fortnite ain't even free.
That's the crazy part.
Nevertheless, I watched a video today on YouTube. The guy, it was a great watch. He talked about how he decided to he broke his like goal on a video, so he decided to do another video talking about, and he was doing like pack openings. So he was doing like 1,000 pack openings and stuff like that. So he was dropping money in this game. The guy ended up, for the video that I watched, he ended up unlocking every piece of item in the game of Apex Legends. All right? Apex Legends is what I meant to say. He ended up locking every piece of item from the store, from what you could craft, from most of the characters in the game of Apex Legends. And you know how much money at that point? How much money he spent?
How much?
A little over $1,000. Now I'm sad.
Now think about that,
so
folks.
Bad saying
hear
this,
what that man is saying.
But I feel so bad saying this. But if you think about it, that is cheaper than Battlefield. That is cheaper than Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
That would be cheaper than. I would say that would be cheaper than, well, because of the seasons.
It might be it might be cheaper than Call of Duty.
If you go back and yes, it would be cheaper than Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back of all the seasons of Fortnite up until now, it'd be cheaper than that. If somebody decided to buy all of the pieces of gear, it would be cheaper than that. And that, if Apex Legends has only been out for weeks, and he unlocked everything for $1,000, and it was his social experiment that he did. He dropped all that money on it. Now, would I do some shit like that? No, I'm not doing that.
Unless somebody want to sponsor me to do it, and then I'll do it in a heartbeat. I can't wait to sell out for y'all.
If I could write it off, I probably would. So sitting here looking at that, Apex Legends is in a better, and it's a free-to-play game, and it's cosmetics. It's in a better spot than some of the games that we talking about.
It's just an overall better shooter. I mean, we already know Titanfall was a better shooter than a lot of the games out. It was just, it was fun. I really feel like the old-timey guy telling you guys, like, watch out,
well, back in my
the future's
day.
coming. No, but back in my day, there was no DLC. The game just came as it was. But you know what? That is depressing, though. We really do come from the time frame of a DLC was a whole nother experience of like,
it was a whole new game.
It was anywhere from 20 to 30 more hours of gameplay. We really did come from that realm, that era.
We came from the era where there was no room for mistake.
Yeah.
You put the game out, and that was that.
If
you messed up on the game, it was over for you.
Yeah.
That's the era we come from. Now, the era we're in now, Anthem can afford to survive.
And that's the
Destiny
the
can survive. Division 1 can survive. No, back in our day, that shit is done.
And that scares me, because now what it turns into is, okay, Steam even had that problem. Remember Steam for a while, they cut back on the indie games because people were just putting out shit.
Yeah.
They were just throwing shit out. Here's a game.
Shooting one. It was some.
Yeah, here's a game.
Stuff, yeah.
Here's a game. Oh, I made a game. You tap the screen and it lights up. Here's a game. But they were running into that problem, and now we're getting shit just thrown at us. Yeah. Now, once again, I'm not saying Apex Legends is shit. I'm not saying Fortnite is shit. But what I am saying is the practice of knowingly giving me an incomplete game. The fact that Anthem before the release can show me a 90-day plan of giving me the full game they promised.
A 90-day plan?
But what's scary is
roadmap for a year. It was 90 days, 3 months. We waited years for this game. You could have at least took the 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. Stop putting street dates out for games you ain't ready for. Yeah. Stop putting street dates out for games that are going to need a 24 gig update.
But now, wrapping this back all full circle, I would have to assume that this is because of these big end publishers, because it's how to milk out as much money as possible up until the next one needs to come out. Because when you think about these type of games, this is why I'm so glad that Bungie actually slightly addressed it, because they have one of their new contents dropping for their annual pass tomorrow. So they slightly address the roadmap for a Bungie without Activision. And I was happy, and from what I heard. Now, there's no excuse for Bungie anymore. Bungie gets all the backlash. It isn't Activision and Bungie anymore. It's just straight Bungie. But this also puts Bungie in a better spot to have creative control and ideas and financial control over everything that's going on with their game. It's their game. So now when you look at Anthem, you look at the Division, they have these big backings behind them. It's how to let's see how can we make the most money in the least amount of time before we come out with another huge release like this, to then do the cycle all over again. Yep. The most money in a short amount of time, just to do it all over again for the third time. My Anthem 3, Anthem 4, these games, if you think about it, these games could be ran like your Dotas, like console versions, and we've had this conversation before, console versions of your Dotas. Or, I'm sorry, not Dotas, your League of Legends, your Diablos, these type of games where they run forever.
Yeah,
they just get
people
big,
are still playing them, and they've been out for
drops.
years.
They literally can run like that. But do they want to run like that? No. They just want to continue to, well, for Bungie, it was a 4-year process, but it was on a 10-year plan. And that was well known from when Destiny 1 first came out.
Yeah, they announced that.
Anthem, I'm not sure what they got going on with that. I'm not sure what Division has going on with that. But Division 1 still had life to give. Yeah. They just were making the turnaround. So imagine if they would have kept on rocking,
because people were streaming it like crazy.
Exactly. Big content creators were getting back into it. So it was like, imagine if they just kept rocking with it. The PC world was growing at a great rate at that point because everybody was getting high-end PCs, new equipment was coming out, put out a bigger update. Even if they had to charge, hey, listen, we're going to have to figure something out, but let's charge, let's give you this huge content drop. Let's open up a whole new city from where we're at now and give it to the people and let them pay for it, and this will give more light on a game. 5 years from down that line, if Division 1 was still going, they could have said, all right, let's come out with a new one. We can learn from our mistakes on a bigger, better scale. Yeah. And survive that way. But no, it's about these short spurts. This is why, and I've said that plenty of times on here, this is why I don't buy Madden. This is why I don't buy 2K like that. This is why I'm slowing down on Call of Duty. We bought Call of Duty this year because I think I'm only going to buy Treyarch Call of Duties because I like Treyarch. Treyarch is dope.
And you know what? I've said it a million times.
It was a lot there.
No. I mean, we've been on this for a minute, but period. I've always felt that, not always, but as in the last couple of years, we need to be smarter as consumers, and we need not to let companies get away with bullcrap. Don't give me a $60 game with $20 worth of content, and then tell me that after I buy the DLC season pass, the rest of the game you told me that was going to be on there is going to come out.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. Yeah,
if the DLC is created already.
Oh my God. When they found the DLC on games, when they find
lie to me.
Give me a best lie ever, please.
Because
you know me, I'm quick to quit. I'm like, not playing no more.
Yeah, I find that very it's very deceitful when you do that because we're expecting to. Okay, so all right. Well, I was gonna get into a topic. It's time to move on. Anyway, yeah, it's very deceitful when you go about it that way because we're expecting something, but we don't get it until 3 months later, where I should have been had it because I've been knew about it type deal. So yeah.
Well, okay. Now turning up to a happier note, getting off of this, let's jump into a company who rarely lets us down. Rarely, but it does happen. Let's get into Nintendo's not Nintendo's, but Pokemon.
Game Freak,
man. Thank you. Game Freak. Now, it looks like we're heading over to Britain. We're heading over to, I forgot what the land is called, but we're getting Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I'm going to be honest. I did see the review. I did not break it down as much as I wish I could have. I'm talking about remembering the place, like you're talking about remembering the 3 starters. I do. I know that the fire one was a bunny.
Yes.
I believe the grass one was a
chimpanzee. Looked like a monkey.
Yeah. So, and the water
so here,
like
I'll break it down. So we got Grookey, a grass type monkey. We got Scorbunny, a fire type bunny. Sobble, it looks like a water type. Like let's see what it is.
I forgot
it's a water lizard Pokemon that shoots out attacks as it hides itself in the water.
Yeah, it looks like a tadpole.
Yeah, it really does. And let me tell. Okay, so for me, growing up, I always picked the fire type as a kid because they usually look the coolest.
Really?
That's for me. That's starting off when I first started playing. That's what it was. Who didn't want a damn dragon? But it's like, oh, do you want a fire breathing lizard or a water shooting turtle? That's how it was for me.
I'm gonna tell you my first playthrough of Red, because that was the second one I got. My first Pokemon game was Yellow. My first playthrough of Red, I picked Charmander and realized that I need to start all over and started over and grabbed Squirtle.
Now, yes, because you kept running, you couldn't beat Brock.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. As I developed my RPG skills, as I developed my my stat skills, my Pokemon skills, I became a better trainer, a more proficient trainer.
Yeah.
I would pick the water type. Or no, I would still pick between water and fire because you could always find air or grass.
Yeah.
Every game you start off with air or grass. I want a game that starts me off in an area that's like the desert. Like, start me off where it makes sense to want to get a Bulbasaur.
I gotta pick either Bulbasaur or Squirtle.
Yes, it like force my hand. But when you give me nothing but forest to start off with, of course I'm gonna pick the damn fire type.
The Viridian Forest is what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure. I learned that in going back to Red, I learned that I then I could pick anyone I want, but I had to catch a Caterpie and I had to level it up.
Yes,
I had to
big
get it
facts.
to level 10 so it can evolve into a Butterfree. Once it learned Confusion, I was able to take on anybody.
Bro, hey, why was that the grand strategy? You know what's so bad? I bored myself to death with the Pokemon. What was the island ones that I thought was trash?
Oh,
see, we don't even know what it's called. Hello.
Shut up. Southern Moon.
No, Sun and Moon was the island one?
Yes.
No.
That was the last one. Yes, Sun and Moon. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Yes. Lunala. Lunala was the
You sure?
Well, I got your Game Boy, so
yeah, you do got my Game Boy. But no, so first off, this is my one hope for the game. It's not super basic to the point, because I know initially the game is set for 12 and under. Let's be honest here. But I don't want it to be so handholdy that I want to jump off a cliff, because I just it really.
You need to play Sun or your Moon over again. You really do. You need to give it a better shot with better Pokemon. I'm ready for you, dog. I got whatever you want.
You know what ruined me with Sun and Moon? I found the random Pokemon trade. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, the where you could deposit
you can just exchange random Pokemon. Yeah. That ruined my whole experience, because I ended up getting a bunch of Pokemon that I had no business having.
Yeah. I think
all over the world.
They should lock it until you beat the Elite Four.
That's a solid point,
because at that point of beating the Elite Four, you've gone through with the Pokemon that the game allows you to catch.
Yeah,
but when you do it like that, you can easily go in there and get yourself a super strong 6 IV Pokemon off the rip.
Which I did.
Now you're just obliterating stuff. And, you get Pokemon that you should not have within the game already. I wouldn't be mad at that. But I also understand why they do it. Hey, this is one of the games where it's like, hey, listen, we're going to give you the whole game right now. No pun intended. I ain't throwing shots. I'm just letting you know how it is. So, I'm excited for them. I want to give no opinions on Game Freak and Pokemon. I want them to do what they do, because they do it every year. Or not every year, every however long, however time. And this would be the first RPG'd Pokemon on Switch. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, now the game is on this I would consider your Switch a full on console because the way it acts.
It really is.
So,
But let me cut you off though. What a smooth ass way to force people to buy your console.
Hey,
they were actually really nice about it.
mm-hmm.
They were actually really nice about it.
They made it be known last year. They made it be known before the new
That's what I'm saying.
Eevee and Pikachu came out.
They could have came out day one when the Switch released Pokemon. Boom! Y'all want that new Pokédex? I bet you do. Oh man!
Stupid.
Oh, now they're gonna have an they gotta have an interactive Pokebank.
They have to. They have to be.
You have to advance all of this
because they do it every time. From Game Boy to Game Boy Advance to all the new ones, they've always had some way to trade up your Pokemon or do something or move them on up a different way. I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for it to come out day one because you don't want people to, do the same exact thing we're talking about. Transfer up their super strong Pokemon to this Pokemon game and then be able to just run through the game and figure everything out day one. Even though that's the era we live in, I think they should.
I'm more worried about people getting wiped. Game errors and whatnot.
Knock on wood, dog.
Hey man, it's out there, bro. Like we've known these things happen.
Those days. It's never. See, knock on wood, dog. Jesus, the person that's happened to, just remember I knocked on wood for you, dog.
Man.
But I'm just like I said, I'm excited for Pokemon. I have no input at all because every Pokemon game you've had the benefits to beat the game, unlock everything in the game, and then still think about it. No matter how much I say that Pokemon Silver and Gold wasn't up to par for other Pokemon games, you still had the ability to get the 3 starters. You still use, like we're talking about the starters, we're talking about the legendaries that are in those games. I had to transfer them over to my Sun and Moon. So I have the complete Pokédex for my Gold and Silver, complete Pokédex for my Red and Blue, and so forth. So
most systems that people love and enjoy in Pokemon came out of Gold and Silver.
What?
Most systems,
bro. I don't care about the systems.
That's what make you love Pokemon.
Cyndaquil was trash. Tell me he was Lugia and Ho-Oh. Who the hell is using Lugia and Ho-Oh? Ho-Oh. Who? You using them? They in your top 5? Are they in your top 5 Pokemon?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think any legendaries are in my top 5. I always thought all the legendaries was kind of boo boo sauce.
You crazy, Rayquaza, dog? He
just looked like a green Gyarados, a Lego version.
Rayquaza has his own tier. They created a whole new tier called Never Used for him. You can't use him.
Rayquaza looks like a 99-cent store version of Gyarados.
Oh shit! Gyarados look like the 99-cent version of Rayquaza.
Oh my god! But I guess I just take it personal because Gold and Silver are some of my most fondest memories playing Pokemon.
Yeah, because you're weird.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah, you're weird.
I couldn't wait to go to the Pokemon Center.
I'm just saying, name one.
Pokemon daycare center. Go ahead.
Name one Pokemon from Silver and Gold that's in your top 5.
Wasn't that where you came into Miltank?
Miltank
when you would get rolled out?
Yeah, that's what Miltank was in there.
Roll out. Oh my god, that was worse than Magnitude. Rollout was Pokemon Gold and Silver's Magnitude, bro. Yeah. It would just ruin your whole day. Like, wait a second, Miltank's still rolling out.
This goddamn thing is still rolling.
Like, why is this cow beating my whole squad's ass with one move?
That gym leader was one of made it to IGN's list of like the hardest gym leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miltank
name, but yeah,
Miltank.
That Miltank was super strong.
And then the cow looked all happy, but it'd be fucking you up.
Stupid.
Come get this Miltank. And then I think it sold its milk on the game. Wasn't that one of the items?
Yeah, you were able to buy Milk Tank's milk.
Want some pancake, bitches?
Stop, man. Chill.
Oh God, bro, that cow used to be beating my ass. For anybody who's played Pokemon that far back, you know that cow was spanking that ass. And Lord, don't let it attack first. Oh, you thought your quick claw was gonna help?
Enough, man. Enough.
No, the quick claw will not save you. Miltank will take that ass.
Enough, dog. you need a Milk Tank emote.
Bro, I should get a Miltank poster. I'm gonna get one that's gonna say "wanted" for abuse.
Okay, all right. We need to move on, dog.
Okay, all right. Sorry, guys, but okay. I hope Miltank makes a comeback. They should do an evil version, but that's just my plan. Okay, now, which one are you gonna buy? Sword or shield?
I think I'm going to buy sword.
Now, see, I think everybody and their mama going to buy sword because you know shield's already on sale. You can get it. IGN had it up, and I'll find the link. I want to say it was one of the daily deals. If you pre-order, you can get it on sale. I'm going to pick shield because I think the only way they're going to sell it is if they put a Pokemon that's just so kick-ass that you can only get it in Shield. I think that's what they're going to do. Because ain't nobody trying to buy Shield when there's Sword out there. Like, even Lord of the Rings, they ain't even do that. You get my axe, my bow, and my sword.
Yeah.
Like, nobody said, my shield.
Nobody on no damn shield. Hey, look, check out that meme.
Is it Miltank?
Hey, okay, listen. The link to what I just showed him will be in the description below. If you want to laugh, please go to the description right now. Click the top link.
Oh my god!
If you've been listening to this far, you will be laughing as well.
Oh my god! Hey,
I had seen that a while back when I was doing my buddy.
Hey, y'all gotta understand that cow was ruining childhoods.
Yeah,
and I think that was still at the time where you could call Game Freak and get help.
Okay. All right, so we probably got time for one more topic. It'll be short and sweet.
Oh, Jesus.
But I did wanted to touch on, or what did you want to talk about? Because I'd seen the Halo thing in there. I also seen Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay. So there's at this point, there's only been two major things confirmed for E3 2019.
Wipe your face, though. You got tears, like,
bro. Oh my god, I ain't laughed like that in a minute. I'm really trying to hold it together for you guys, but I think I just took up like 5 minutes straight laughing. Yeah, you did. But Cyberpunk 2077 and Halo Infinite are the only two games confirmed right now, and we'll constantly do updates as more games are added and more updates are coming up for E3 2019. Okay. Who pulled out? Was it Sony that pulled out?
Sony pulled out.
Yeah, so Sony is not doing anything, folks. They have made it clear.
Which I'm cool with.
Me too. Take a break. If you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing. Don't ruin the evening by hyping it up, spending all this money,
I'm tired
getting everybody gassed up, and you ain't got nothing.
Exactly.
I'd rather you come out with something. I'd rather you take a big break. If you don't come back for a few years, fine. Just come back when there's something major to release.
Exactly.
And
but you know what that tells me, though, right? No new console this year.
No, hey, but guess what? That just tells me they prepping for the new console.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
No, me
No new
neither. I'm not
console
mad
this
at
year.
all. You know what I really hope happens? I hope they wait until next E3. Not this one coming up, but the year after. And I
2020.
hope they announce it 2020 and it releases holiday 2020. Or not even holiday. I hope it releases like fall, September. Boom. And then you just get...
They're not going to want to release it holiday.
No.
They're going to
because remember, who did that? Xbox One. Xbox One released holiday, which was terrible.
Because ain't nobody about to buy no brand new Xbox that's not on sale.
Especially, you know what? Oh, that's what we should talk about real fast because we only got a few minutes left. Xbox is making a lot of strange but beneficial moves to people who own multiple consoles. So I think we talked about it before, but if we haven't,
we talked about it last week with the games from Xbox being playable on the Switch.
Well, I don't. I forgot what game they were talking about. Scalebound and something else, but Xbox Live as a whole, the service is now. They're talking about making it on Switch, which we talked about. Yeah. But now my next question is it going to be all their indie titles that are Xbox exclusive? Are they going to be rolling into? Like, am I going to pretty soon be playing Absolver? Am I going to be playing Massive Chalice? Am I going to be playing...
I don't think it's Xbox... I wouldn't say it's Xbox exclusive.
Exclusive, my bad. Yeah.
I would say that it's games that, like the examples that you're using, I'm not even 100% sure how to say it. I would just assume that it's these console...
Smaller titles.
Games, these smaller titles on these consoles being reverted over to... through one service, which is your Xbox Live. This is possibly how it could go. Through Xbox Live, you're able to sign up, create an account, and get these games onto your Switch via your Xbox Live.
Bro, I pray. Because you know what? I'm not going to lie. When I first picked up my Switch, and I think I've talked about it before, I feel like if you don't have a specific title you're looking for going in, it's almost a waste of money. Like I truly feel that. I floated around with it for a while. I was playing Wasteland 2. I was playing a bunch of different indie titles, but then I finally did what I should have been done and picked up Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. And I said that backwards, but it's all good. Y'all know what I meant. Made the mistake of accidentally beating it. Put that down. I haven't been big on Mario games, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it just doesn't call me.
I outgrew them.
Yeah, it doesn't call me like it used to.
Yeah.
It's not an itch of mine to I gotta get the new Mario. Like that, those days are like Sonic falls in the same realm as Sonic.
Of course.
It's just
I'm to be honest, I'm more excited for my kids. I'm more excited like, when my kids get it and they can't beat the level and it's like, come on, let me show you something real quick and like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm excited for that part.
So what, you know what, last couple minutes, what game you gonna start your kids with?
I'm gonna start my son for a fact on Sonic.
Got it.
He gotta go Sonic and you gotta get, you don't have to beat the boss, but you gotta get all the way up to the boss. And I'm gonna let him figure it out. For my daughter, I'm thinking something like Spyro.
Yeah.
Spyro is a game that I've been really contemplating if I want to get for her on my PlayStation 3, or on my PlayStation 4. I do have a PlayStation 4 downstairs, so get one for my daughter to play on PlayStation 4, play the new Spyro or whatever. My wife likes Rayman.
Okay.
So either I'm either thinking of Spyro or Crash Bandicoot for my daughter.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, I sat down and wrote it all out and did all of that.
That's solid picks. Like I'm thinking, for my kids, they're I'm thinking whatever platformers are kind of there. Okay. Like I've seen like the Lego games. I don't want it to be too cheesy and too kiddie, but I mean they're kids, so they probably had the time of their life. So I'm thinking I'm gonna start them off with the Lego games.
See, the one thing I don't want, because all right, so like my nieces and nephews, or let me just say my nephews, they're at this age now where they're playing video games. And they're heavily playing video games. I'm talking about they're playing Fortnite, 1v1ing each other, beating each other, and all this stuff, right? Even destroying me. Hey, uncle, you want to 1v1 me? Playing, destroying me. I ain't playing this no more. Well, they're so all over the place that they can't stick to this game right now. They can't sit down and game for 2 hours on this one specific game.
Gotcha.
They gotta go do something else. They gotta go. So, for example, playing Destiny 2 with him, and he goes, "You want to come play Destiny 1 with me?" I'm like, "What?"
Like, that makes no sense. Yeah.
But that's what he wants to do. And I'm like, "Nah." And he'll be like, "All right, well, I'll talk to you later." And that'd be that. Or, "You want to come play Fortnite with me?" "Nah, I don't want to play Fortnite." Well,
now that you mention it, that is true. Even with all my younger, anytime I would play with my younger cousins, that's what would happen.
Exactly. I'm going to try to avoid that with my kids, because with my son, at least, I think I learned the most valuable lesson in gaming playing Sonic. The fact that I couldn't save, the fact that you only get a certain amount of lives, and you have to figure out how to unlock the other lives, and that you're supposed to save your lives up until this point, and that these games have a certain mechanic behind them. The enemies don't move. Once I learned that the enemies don't change like position and state, and this is how you every time you run
and
into
it's
them
now
on
it's
this
pure
map,
skill and memory.
Exactly.
So you want to build them up as a gamer.
Exactly.
Got you. I got you 100%. And that's why I wanted to, like, I started the first game, sad but true, my kid played was Castle Crashers.
Okay.
Because I was gonna put a game in front of her. I was gonna let her play like Stardew Valley or something like that. And even though I knew she wouldn't understand it, but I think it was just more about having the controller in her hand. But she was like, "Oh, can I make them fight?" And I was like, "Oh, that's what you okay." So that's what you're looking for.
She's trying to catch these hands. She want these hands.
Yeah, so I put the most halfway decent, which is probably the worst game I could have gave her.
Mm-hmm.
But I put Castle Crashers in her hand, and she was having so much fun, like making the character move around, making them jump, making them that, like you said, those connections. Like, oh, I can't just tap this button to beat that person. I need to do something else.
Exactly.
What else do I need to do? And I'm like, oh, well, when they swing this hard, you're supposed to do this. And it just, now, of course, she's not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
She's only 2, but
yeah.
But it's just the fact that her wheels are turning. And it's already, like, that thought is there. So that's good. Like, man, I think the next savage thing you could have did was start on with, like, Mega Man.
No, I wouldn't do that.
That would break a kid.
That was
the Dark Souls of its time. Contra, Mega Man.
That literally was on the list. Like,
yeah.
It was on the list of games like that. Bomberman, Ooh. Tetris was on there too. But I felt like with the games that I chose with my son, at least I want him to, because with Sonic was the true game that I got to like play and devour on my own. And when I say on my own, I really mean me and my cousin together. And I'm talking about, I got so good at the first stage all the way up until the mission before you fight the boss. I was perfect. I've had perfect runs on those. I'm talking about saving all my lives, skipping the parts that I needed to skip, doing and this is Sonic Adventures 2. So you do the ring stage, the secret stage. And you gotta like don't get hit by the bombs and stuff. All of that I vividly remember. I vividly remember having to restart it because somebody went in there and kicked the Sega, or somebody went in there and turned it off. Me being having fumes, upset at somebody for doing that. So I want my son. Really want my son to experience that, because I'm just assuming that he's probably going to game more than my daughter, because my daughter's more into doing her doll's hairs and stuff like that. She does sometimes. We will sit down and play like Sonic Racing and these games, but she's more into her dolls, playing kitchen, stuff like that. With my son now, I'm hoping that it's not going to be a job. Like I vividly thought about this because this is how I went through it. So I kind of want my son to experience the same way I went through it. So like even Legos, like sitting down, creating stuff with Legos. I want to do all of that stuff. Granted, my son's only 8 months now, so I still got some time to develop all of this and put it to play. But it's something I sat down and wrote out before I said, okay, I finalized what games they're going to play, blase, because I wanted them to go through that experience. Like you see these kids, they're all super amazing at fucking Fortnite and, excuse my language, and all of these, they're gods. They're gods on these games.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even know what a Sonic is. Some of them don't even know what a Mega Man is.
Just bypassed all the staples of the gaming world.
Exactly. So they just jumped into Fortnite. You want to 1v1 me? No, I don't want to 1v1 me. Miniature God? I don't want to play you. So, I really thought about it, and I chose those two games for my kids. So
that's fair, man. That's solid stuff, dude. Well, let's end it on that note. We're well over time.
Yeah, but we are.
Dude, much love to you guys hanging in there with us, and we are getting it all together, and we are here. Consistency is key. And I want to send a shout out to Tone Deaf Network for blasting us across the ether and the universe. Much love to the folks over there. Please go check them out. The links are below. Nerds Noir is up and running. You guys check it out. You guys can go pick up different gear from there. Everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs, hoodies, tank tops, pillows, all that. And then
listen, my man's been working very hard on that. At least check it out.
Yeah, just go look at it. I mean, it'd be cool if you bought something, but if you don't, just go look. And then of course we got all of our individual stuff. I will get back to streaming. I've been lacking on that pretty hard.
You and me both. I gotta go through my computer right now.
Yeah, I think that's my next step too. Is new computer.
Yeah,
fun stuff. Well.
All right, man. Well, that's gonna.
I'm Baron J67.
I'm T Jones.
Peace.